chorus pedals. So chorus is a different type of effect. It's a time-based effect that is supposed to simulate a chorus, which means a choir of people singing together. What happens when there is a lot of singers singing together? It's an acoustic phenomenon that happens, which is called the beat, the acoustic beat, which is an interference between two notes being very close together. And in the case of a chorus, there's a lot of people singing, so a lot of different notes. I mean, it's the same note, but they are all a little bit different, and there's an acoustic beat occurring between these two notes. So let's see that on the schematic, which is provided to us by Wikipedia.
In this world of war,
we see that the pattern of what happened in a chorus is quite complicated, but can be summarized in this little sign, and after this little sign there's a big sign. So let's see if what we see on the actual chorus pedals is like the Wikipedia schematic. This is a vintage chorus from the Aria company. It's one I like. So let's see what it does. Still with the rate on 0, the depth at maximum, and here there's one intensity knob, so I put it at maximum too. And we see that this move, there's a small wave and then the big one with a modulation. So it's quite interesting. This one seems to have a pattern which is more likely the model. Now an old CS9 from the Ibanez company, still with the speed at minimum and width at the maximum. Let's see what it does. It's a very different pattern. There is still some big and small sign, but the signs are twisted at the top and at the bottom too. It's a different pattern. This is a cheap unit from Behringer, so at the opposite of the other pedal, this one is digital. It means that the chorus, this is part of a digital multi-effects, it's written on it. So the chorus is not analog like in all the other pedals in this roundup, but this one is digital. So let's see what it does. It's very different, it's kind of erratic. I mean, the sound was chorus, but the sign is very different from the other pedal. It's there's a cycle of something. I don't know, it's very different. Quite interesting to see that. This is a very famous pedal which is from the Danish company TC Electronics. It's the old chorus plus pitch shifter flanger. It was more or less a chorus, and it was some state-of-the-art at the time it was issued. It's a very famous pedal and still appreciated today, the old one. So let's see what it does. It's kind of nice. You see that the sign is going down and then up with a slight shivering, with a quite complicated pattern, so it's interesting to see. I like the long shivering. So the setting is always with speed on 0 and everything at max. This is a quite famous vintage chorus. It's from the Locobos company. It's called Cosmo Chorus, a nice name. But here we have a problem. That's even in bypass, the sign is truncated at the top. So I don't know. I have to listen to it because I don't know what does that. So let's start and see what the chorus does. Well, it's a very complicated signal. I don't know. Maybe this pedal has something wrong, but I have to check it. But it's quite funny. I remembered it was working nice, so maybe it's normal. This is one of my favorite pedals for my vintage collection. It's come from Coron, so it doesn't have the battery holder anymore, so it doesn't say nothing. It's a chorus from Coron, and let's see what it does. So it's going very slow, and the wave is quite simple. It goes from a low sine to a big sine, so there's not a lot of complication on this diagram, but it's a very good sounding pedal. And here's my Meistersinger chorus pedal. So it's true bypass, so I have to adjust the oscilloscope when I start it on. So let's go. And we say that it's a complicated waveform that reminds the TC electronics, but it has a lot of interesting things doing. So it's quite different. All the choruses were quite different. This poor thing is an old chorus from Coron, which has been a lot of inspiration for me because I do love its sound. It's in very bad shape, but it still have a very good sound. So let's see what it does. The amplitude are smaller than the other, but we'll see, just like on the Meistersinger and on the TC, that's you see the triangle end of the signal here on the peak, which goes from round to triangle. So maybe it's part of the secret of the chorus sounds. So we see this time it was even more complicated and with the classic distortion of overdrive pedal, because it was a sine wave in time. But it was interesting to see the difference of the pedal, and maybe we can draw some conclusion. But once again, there's no science in there. It's only for fun. It's only to compare the pedals on the oscilloscope. And so excuse again my English. And most of all, thank you for watching.